Hi everyone, it's Ian here from Crack Maths, and today we're looking at tutorial 23, which is how to divide decimal numbers without a calculator. So for this method, we are going to rely on the bus stop method, good old bus stop method. If you are a bit rusty on this, you can feel free to go back to one of my earlier tutorials where we focus on how to do the bus stop method without decimals. But in this lesson, we're going to kind of presume that you're okay with the bus stop method. So please follow along if you can, and that would be great. First of all, I think let's just get started really by looking at a question. So the first question that I've got here is, what is 4.5 divided by 0.3? Now, this topic will actually, it also kind of relies on our fraction knowledge. So if I've got 4.5 divided by 0.3, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write this down as a fraction just to help me out first of all. So I'm going to write 4.5 on the top and then 0.3 on the bottom, because remember, this line in the middle of the fraction does actually mean divide. So we've got 4.5 divided by 0.3. Perfect. 4.5 divided by 0.3. Now, you might remember we talked about equivalent fractions and how if you multiply or divide the top and the bottom of a fraction by the same thing, the value stays the same. The answer will stay the same. Whatever it's worth will be the same. Its decimal would be equivalent. Its percentage would be the same. So whatever you turn that fraction into, as long as you multiply the top and the bottom of that fraction by the same thing, it's fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom of this fraction by 10 in order to get rid of the decimal. So 4.5 times 10 equals 45. 0.3 times 10 equals 3. So here we go. So we now know that 4.5 divided by 0.3 is the same as 45 divided by 3. Okay, now this question is a lot easier for us to do. Now we're doing it without a calculator. You might already know the answer, but if you don't, I'm going to do it using the bus stop method. So remember, 45 over 3 means 45 divided by 3. 45 gets to the bus stop first, so it gets to go inside. It can hide under its shelter. 3 gets there later, so it has to go outside. So then we look at the 3's into the 45. So 3's into 4. Right, we know that 3 fits into 4 once, so I'll put a 1 above there. 4 take away 3 is 1, so there's 1 remainder. So I put that 1 with the 5 to make a 15. So now I'm looking at 3's into 15. Luckily, 3's into 15 go perfectly. So 3 times 5 is 15. So 3 goes into 15 5 times. So I put that 5 at the top. So I can see that 45 divided by 3 is going to be 15. And so that would actually be the same answer to 4.5 divided by 0.3. So there we go. We've got 4.5 divided by 0.3 equals 15. Now, I know that some of you might be a bit confused because 15 is a bigger number than both 4.5 and 0.3. Now, this is the funny thing about dividing by decimals, because when we divide, we're working out how many of something can fit into it. So if a number is a decimal, that means you can get multiple of that number into just one, okay? So we have 4.5 here, and we've got 0.3, but you can get 3 0.3s into one whole. So that means we're actually going to have more than 4.5 at the end of it, because we're dividing it into smaller numbers. So we're looking at how many of something really small fits into something bigger. So that's my best way of explaining it, really. But yeah, so don't be fooled. When you see a division by a number that's got a decimal, a small decimal, the answer will be larger. So let's have a look at another example here. So I've got another question here, which is 72 divided by 0.08. Okay, right. So I'm going to write it as a fraction just because I find this to be the most helpful way to get rid of the decimal. So 72 over 0.08. I'm going to multiply them both by 10 first, which will give me 720 over 0.8. Then I'm going to multiply them by 10 again to get 7,200 divided by 8. So 7,200 over 8. Right, now I'm going to write this in the bus stop method. So This is 7,200 divided by 8. So the 7,200 goes under the bus stop. The 8 goes on the outside. So first of all, we're looking at 8s into 7. 8s into 7 don't go, so I put a 0. Now I'm counting, because I didn't use up any of that 7, I've still got all of that 7 left. So I'm now going to look at the 8s into the 72. So 8s into 72 go 9. Okay, so I'll write that 9 up there. And now I've got 2 zeros left. 8 into 0 is 0. 8 into 0 is 0. So here we go. I can see that the answer to 7,200 divided by 8 is 900. Okay, which also means the answer to 72 divided by 0.08 is 900 as well. So again, it seems confusing because the number is so large, but actually, if you think about 0.08, okay, it's absolutely tiny. Think about how many 8p's fit into 72 pounds. It's going to be loads. Well, it's going to be 900. We just worked it out. But it makes sense if you think about it like that. When you're dividing a number by a small decimal, the answer will be large. Okay, so don't be thrown off. Right, I want us to go to the scenario questions now to see how this type of question might play out in practice. Okay, so here we go. It says a company produced 9.45 litres of hand sanitizer and wants to package it into 0.15 litre bottles. Okay, so 9.45 litres of sanitizer and they want to put it into 0.15 litre bottles. So basically we're pouring that sanitizer into all of these small bottles. How many of those small bottles do we need? So the way that we do that is we do the 9.45 divided by the 0.15. So remember, I'm going to start off writing this as a fraction. So 9.45 over 0.15. And then I'm going to multiply by tens until I've got rid of the decimals. So if I multiply the top and the bottom by 10 once, that's going to give me 94.5 over 1.5. And then if I multiply by the 10 again, I'm going to get 945 divided by 15. So this is the calculation I'm now looking at. 945 over 15. 945 divided by 15. I'm going to use the bus stop method. So the 945 got there first. So that's going to go underneath the bus stop. The 15 is on the outside. How many 15s fit into 9? They don't go, so I put a 0. I've still got all of that 9 left. So now I'm looking at how many 15s go into 94. Now, if you're not too up there on your 15 times table, don't worry. You just have to write it down. So we've got 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90. Okay, so it fits in 6 times. So I'll put a 6 up there. And we're going to have 94, take away the 90, leaves us with 4 remainder. So we're now looking at 45. Luckily, we've written down our 15 times table, so we can see that 15 fits into 45 3 times, okay? So 15 into 45 goes 3 times, so I'll put a 3 up there. And now I can see that 945 divided by 15 is 63. So that means 9.45 divided by 0.15 is also 63. So therefore we need 63 bottles for the company so that they can distribute their hand sanitizer. Okay, great. Thank you for bearing with me through that. I know division's a horrible topic. If you need to practice this some more, just rewatch and have a think and just take some time. Plenty of questions for you on crackmaths.co.uk. And if you want to visit the original tutorial on how to divide using the bus stop method, how to do long multiple division without a calculator, I'd recommend doing that as well. Okay, lovely to see you all, and I will catch you soon. Bye.